This video is going to sound a little odd, but maybe not as odd as something as I've been speaking along during the 2 years of the pandemic, kind of. I've been talking in terms of mythology. Now, then in mythology, there's reference to Durga being Mahishasura mardini. Yeah. Um, when you don't see mythology in perspective, it sounds very fantastical. Yeah, lots of colors and weapons and drama and oh my goodness. Yeah. In normal, ordinary, everyday living, the Shiva trilogy gives a little bit of a Amish Tripati's Shiva trilogy gives a little perspective on how is a human experience in an extraordinary, apparently, circumstance. But okay, sometimes our ordinary is sufficiently extraordinary, yeah, or it's just so extraordinarily ordinary that we don't see ordinary in perspective. Um, for example, what it takes for a person to put bread on the family's table. Yeah, there's nothing ordinary about it. But every person does that. Should ask a person who doesn't have a job or who is not receiving the salary regularly. Yeah. Then the ordinary and extraordinary would be seen in perspective. Having said that, Durga Mahishasura Mardini, Mahishasura. When, as people wake up in the morning, do their everyday activities, and a lot of energy practices, yeah, psychic, also to maintain have control in their mind. People wake up in the morning, do meditations, maybe different kinds of practices, and they have their effect on the environment. And that also, in some way, is like gaslighting or forms cookies, so to speak. Um, they are like they bank up. You depend on being a certain state quite often, and that's like um, egg. When you cook it, it forms crust and it forms a little solidified surface. Raw egg, when it gets cooked, it's more the white of the egg, clear, becomes more white, more solid. So that's also like a little cake. When you bake it, there's a certain crust that forms. Too much and it gets crumbly. Just nice, soft, it's good to eat. Otherwise, it's called a biscuit. But the thing is, when you work yourself to be a certain state, higher energy, higher states, um, and you depend on being in those states. If you're not, you feel less like you. It's also kind of addiction. Yeah, smoke, drugs, alcohol. You work yourself into a certain state because you'd like to have a certain effect from it, and you get kind of stuck there. And you have a life or something like it. You're just addicted to something. Some drink tea, coffee, different things to have a certain effect, or cook meals with certain ingredients so that they have, say, for example, a lot of spicy food has a certain effect from your intestines, and then you're in a, you know, ready to be angry more often and have higher BP or an aneurysm, yeah, which is more like your blood vessels go a little swollen like that, yeah. You don't want it to be too much swollen, yeah. The thing is, you get into disease states. Cookies, yeah, fried eggs, it's nice to eat, but when you get a little too fried, it's also called a burnout, yeah. Diseases, you may not know the problem you are to yourself, but others can feel it. That has an effect on the environment, on the air. Air we breathe, people around, you wake up in the morning, and then you work yourself into a state, either through meditation or through food or through different practices you have, you chant, do different things. They all have an effect on the environment. And it affects the fabric of time space. So, You've heard in terms of mythology about Durga, about different gods and goddesses, demons, demonesses. We have Andromeda Galaxy in different stages of merging with Milky Way Galaxy. They have an effect. They have a cosmic, miasmic, rheumatic, telluric effect on the environment. And human beings work themselves up to a certain state to be able to compensate, to be able to deal with the challenges. They don't know where it's coming from. And it's there since some time. We Our different practices have been working, but they're also kind of contributing to maintaining the inflammation in some ways. Because you may be well, apparently, or you're working yourself to a state to deal with the inflammation that's there, but you may be passing it on to somebody else. So, Mahisha, Mahishasura is also the not so musical Asur. Asur. Sur is all musical, nice in tune, harmony. Asur is a little off. Yeah. Other than that, it's a little off. And a little cookie, cantankerous. And it is you could hit somebody with it. Yeah, with the cookies. With a biscuit, somebody could get hurt. Yeah. And you got to regularly decrust it in the environment, in the air, in the spaces around. So life is more livable with less inflammation. You hit somebody with a biscuit, it could give you a red mark, a sign of inflammation, or it could give you pain, or it could give you heat in the area of contact. Yeah, which is also a sign of inflammation. So, or it could give you swelling, tumor, swelling, tumor, rubor redness, calor heat, dolor pain, functional essa. It's not so functioning after a little, yeah, an impact. And the functional essa or sonar, we have sounds. The sound of that part of the body will be different from the sound of the other part of the body because the tissues there are crying. It's also a sound of inflammation. So you have some sense of tension in your skin, or you're having a difficulty feeling the top of your head, or you have cold or sinus concerns, or a headache, or just, you wake up and not feeling so good. You need to have your coffee or tea to start your day so that you can feel well enough. That's also a sign that you need that coffee or tea to feel well enough, which means otherwise you're not feeling well enough, which in other words means you may be inflamed. And to go beyond inflammation, you need something warm, something, like this to keep you so warm and nice. Um, and you could get into a dis-ease, lack of ease, or a disease. So you have compensatory mechanisms, meditation, many other practices, mantra japa, and you're working yourself into a state of what you call as well-being. But underlying all of that, that inflammation is there, or the effects from it is there, or the causes for it is there. So that's like eating food from a plate that has not been as completely cleaned. Food may not be as very tasty, just saying, or drinking from a glass, which is not as much cleaned. Now, what I'm calling as movementless yoga is like Mahishasura mardini, 24 bar 7. Yeah. Now, the mythologically, the idea of Durga was an episode. Yeah, she was created, she came into existence, and then worked with the Asura, Mahishasura, and then the story was over. And then she's praised, and we have temples. Consider this a 24 bar 7 thing. Yeah, it's very tiring. Yeah. And it requires you to be in the present moment. One of the reasons people have a difficulty being in the present moment, go into past or future, is because of what it takes to be in the present moment and to maintain normal, ordinary, harmonious living. So you don't have to take out weapons to maintain peace. And we have more humanity across boundaries. It's a little tiring practice. But you get a hang of it when you do it my way. Yeah. So I'm teaching how to do healthy natural breathing. So we're, okay, to give more context. Now, when people do this frequency energy vibration thing, it affects the sounds, what you hear, yeah, the thoughts, the ways you think, the imaginations you have, and the stories that then it's been called the Lisa Juice patterns. They affect your skin, your fabric, your nerves, your different layers of your tissues. And you got to regularly decookie. They've been calling it as Brahmari, where sounds, if you actually notice the practice, if there's say some spins, particles of certain spins stuck in your system, they go poof, yeah. They actually go off from your electromagnetic system, so to speak. But adds a little too much energy and you got to do a lot of work with your muscles and sounds, and you can't do that 24 bar 7. Instead, you talk, but then is talking sufficient enough to do the primary? The While there are other influences, not just spinning particles, yeah, they even cookie. They stay on your different layers of tissue. And you need to regularly de-cookie. Otherwise, you get old. Yeah, your joints become all crumbly, or you have osteoporosis because there is a lot of stuff being taken out. Your life energy is being sucked, or um, you get your joints get less lubricated and you get crumbly, or your bones, muscles go all stiff and you get old. Yeah, and your skin all wrinkle. Now, healthy natural breathing is a way by which you regularly decookie the Mahishasura. Yeah, or become great, or become great, become great. Yeah, you got to regularly decookie it so the extraordinary that you're doing returns to ordinary. If you continue to keep doing a lot, I mean, extraordinary good, but sometimes doing the ordinary is the most extraordinary. Yeah, so that we are maintaining being healthy, wealthy, wise, and alive enough to speak what we need to be speaking and making available. Yeah. So over these years, I've been saying this, but have not been able to communicate as well, maybe, or those who are listening are not able to listen, or now is the time more for me to be speaking a lot more about my work. So this is for whomsoever may be to whomsoever this may concern. Yeah. Um, okay. Now, um, one of the necessities is for you to be able to be aware of different layers of your body. And a lot of people don't think that is important unless they have a pain or they have a discomfort or a dis-ease, is when they pay attention to, this is not working as well, or, we could do a little more, or not looking as colorful. So you apply a lot of makeup, or you apply some ointment, or some different kinds of oils to be able to feel well enough, or you pop a pill. Yeah, or you eat food, different kind, to then be able to compensate. People even eat omega-3 fatty acids, yeah, to be able to heal their um, inflammation in their nervous system, yeah, or to maintain a certain. It's like pouring fish oil into water to maintain the calm, yeah. Um, your body has to still digest all that fish oil, yeah. So if your metabolism is not good enough, that is getting affected in your liver, it's getting affected in different parts of your body, and then you need to go to a doctor to address that concern. So what I'm making available here is without using medicines, no pop-up pill, chanting mantras, or using different kinds of crystals, or incense, or playing cassettes. Yeah. You over time learning without using any medicines, any visualizations, all of that stuff, to maintain being healthy, alive, and decooking, so that you're maintaining healthy, well, you're maintaining youthfulness, improving your metabolism, and so that you can then eat your food, chant your mantras, use your different things, and not be dependent on it. If that's not there, you're not going to die. So, how do you do that? Requires some foundational understanding of what it means to be human. So, I know I'm sounding like a mother, yeah, having a giving a hearing, yeah, or to somebody who doesn't know about it. Well, let's just say comes out of habit. You come to a point, and then it's you got to nail it on this path, yeah, because otherwise the message is not getting across. So I don't know if this is going to be listened to anyways, but um, you've been using a lot of things, and we have artificial intelligence. We are still not getting what it takes to be original, human, intelligent, and alive without being dependent. Your dependence on things. Um, you're born to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. Your parents take care of you. You should be able to take care of yourselves with or without parental or supervision oversight. They can't see what they can see of you. They cannot see what they cannot see of you. So you should be able to take care of yourself and be able to take care of all that there is, because you're expected to grow up good enough to take care of, well, our dependents, everybody, those who took care of us, for us to be able to take care of them, but also in a way that they can take care of themselves. You know, that takes some work. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm beginning to talk about my work so we can foundationally take care of ourselves and each other. So it's also called Humanity Across Boundaries. I hope this video gives you pause for thought. Thank you so much for your kind interest. Good day.